Right-wingers like Charlie Kirk, and more importantly, the Trump administration, love to flirt with the worst elements of their political ideology. I'm talking about the hardcore racists, the people who marched in Charlottesville, Virginia, saying the Jews will not replace us. They won't outright condemn them. They'll flirt with them because they appreciate the support, but they also won't outright support them, right? Through explicit messages in the media. Now, this flirtation has come back to haunt them because people like Nicholas Fuentes, who is a very open and transparent racist white nationalist, is harassing Charlie Kirk for not taking them seriously enough. So he's showing up to various Turning Point USA events, also showing up to the book signing event that Donald Trump Jr. did with his girlfriend, Kimberly Guilfoyle, and they're just causing chaos, and it's a fascinating thing to watch. Now let's just take a quick look at who Nicholas Fuentes is. Again, I warn you, he is not a pleasant person, to say the least.
Dinesh D'Souza, President Trump should make a speech talking about the roots of white nationalism and white supremacy. When the did you get here, 1990? You know, Dinesh D'Souza, I'm sorry, anybody sounding like Dinesh D'Souza signed the Constitution of the United States or the Declaration of Independence? I don't remember that. Sorry for the language, but really, Dinesh D'Souza is gonna roll up to our shore from India, from smelly, open defecation India, and he's gonna tell us that Robert E. Lee was a racist and our ancestors were villains, as long as they were Democrats, so Dinesh D'Souza can go to hell. You wanna talk to Jewy Jewstein, who says, I like the free market. I like capitalism, but I think something else about social issues. That's who you want to have on your show. Welcome everybody. I'm Dave Rubin. I'm gay and Jewish, and this is the Gay Jewish Show. Today we've got a Jew who is going to talk to us about why the only thing you're allowed to disagree on is economics. Typing on twitter.com, race trader. You work for Jews,
So those are the types of people that they were flirting with for political gain, for profit, for whatever reason. And again, it's coming back to haunt them, and this is what they empowered.
Yeah, so the Republican Party ran on lots of different forms of bigotry and hatred. So it's a fact. It was called the Southern Strategy. Two different heads of the Republican National Committee have apologized for it. For over 40 years, they ran on the idea of appealing to racists in the South because the parties flipped. The Democratic Party used to be more conservative, and because of the Civil Rights Act of Lyndon Johnson, it became the more progressive party. And so the Republicans then were like, oh, Richard Nixon, Pat Buchanan came up with a strategy. By the way, so did Roger Ailes, who now, of course, went on to run Fox News Channel. He's now passed away, but those were the architects of the explicitly racist strategy of saying to Southerners, don't worry, there is a party that hates black people, it's the Republicans. So then they went on an anti-immigrant tirade. So they said, hey, don't worry, all you racists out there, we hate immigrants and we hate Latinos. They then in 2004, and now this is the beloved George W. Bush and Karl Rove, who've now been rehabilitated because of Donald Trump, and all of their staff members are now all over cable news, including MSNBC. Those sons of bitches ran campaigns all across the country in swing states against gay rights. And they knew that their base is filled with hatred and bigotry and would show up just to vote against gay people and then would vote for George Bush on the ticket. And that strategy, unfortunately, did work, and it made George Bush president again in his second term.
They were just talking about ideas.
Yeah, no, they weren't. So and then of course their attacks against Muslims are historic and legendary. But by the way, guys, through all this, if you notice with Fuentes, when I had David Duke on, when I went on Alex Jones' show, all of these guys, the Alex Jones show was a million years ago. So, and I was curious, what does this lunatic think, right? And so if you had that intellectual curiosity, you would find out that no, at the bottom of all their hatred is anti-Semitism. That's worse than all of them. Why? Because they think blacks are inferior, Latinos are inferior, Muslims are irredeemable. But the Jews run the world.
Yeah,
okay?
no, I mean they're transparent about it.
Yeah, and if you notice that guy too, right? So they encouraged this and they built it, and they built this like machine of hatred. And then it came to life, and it was Donald Trump, and that was Frankenstein. And then even when they said the Jews will not replace us in Charlottesville, and they killed someone, Trump said there was very fine people on both sides.
He wouldn't even condemn David Duke when David Duke endorsed him.
Yeah, he pretended not to know who David Duke was.
Right.
Okay, so then the Gary Cohns of the world wrung their hands at the time. Oh, I thought about quitting, but I didn't want to quit until we got the tax cuts. Okay, and Stephen Miller still hasn't quit, etc. So now, baby Frankenstein is here. And by the way, if you've ever heard the terms alt-right and alt-light, what is the difference? They split a while back, early on in the Trump administration, because the alt-right said, let's hate everyone. And the alt-right said, no, guys, come on, be cool. We're pretending to love Israel and all that stuff. So let's hate everyone but the Jews. So they were like, we're against blacks, Latinos.
Yeah.
No, but that's my point. No, but that's my point. Alt-right, you thought it was okay to hate everyone but the Jews? Okay, and you thought that wouldn't encourage the alt-right to get worse and worse and worse. And here we are, now it's fully formed. And baby Frankenstein is here to go, yeah, of course we meant the Jews. And of course we meant everybody. And Dinesh D'Souza, who's a monstrous right-winger. They're like, not good enough, because I don't know if you got the memo, idiot. You're brown, and we hate brown people. Go ahead, Dinesh, dance for them. See how it turned out. Keep dancing. Now these guys show up at Charlie Kirk events and Donald Trump Jr. events.
Yeah.
And they say, oh yeah, okay, you're not racist enough.
You reap what you sow, though.
And they cause a ruckus. Good, I'm glad.
Exactly. So look, I want to show you one quick example of what that looks like. This is Charlie Kirk getting heckled by these people, and again, you reap what you sow.
It's time for Donald Trump to move on. Donald Trump's an opportunist. This guy is a You said you take it.
Just keep in mind that Charlie Kirk, of all people, is pointing fingers and accusing others of being grifters.
Oh, hilarious.
That's what he said in that video, which is incredible.
Well, your grift has come back to haunt you.
Yes.
So now you guys have unleashed this demon into the world, and now when it comes back to bite you, all of a sudden you're like, oh my God, I can't believe people are not in favor of free speech. What, I thought you were saying that was the leftists. No, it turns out it's the right wing. It's the guys you created, so enjoy.
I just don't want to hear about your oppression Olympics, Charlie Kirk.
Thanks for watching the Young Turks, really appreciate it. Another way to show support is through YouTube memberships. You'll get to interact with us more. There's live chat emojis, badges. You've got emojis of me, Anna, John, JR. So those are super fun. But you also get playback of our exclusive member-only shows and specials right after they air. So all of that, all you gotta do is click that join button right underneath the video. Thank you.